Welcome to the Testing Coordinators Corner and the how-to video for the all-new online process to completing security affidavits, which are required for our state testing programs. In an attempt to keep up with the changing world of testing and move into a more paperless environment, our office has created online security affidavits to replace the previous paper-pencil multi-part documents. For this demonstration, we will use the CASP Security Affidavit. However, please be aware that the new online documents have been created and will be used for the CASE and CELT testing worlds as well. This video is intended to assist test site coordinators by showing how to send the request for completion to site staff, and then how to monitor the list of those who have completed the required security affidavit after training and prior to testing. First, please be aware that everyone completing a security affidavit must do so using his or her Google accounts. Test site coordinators must also use Google account to monitor staff document completion. I will include contact numbers at the end of this video for the teachers on assignment in the technology department who can provide usernames and passwords to staff. Every certificated and classified DSUSD staff member who has an Outlook account should also have a Google account. We will discuss how to handle the rare exceptions further into this video. For now, let's take a look at the form. The first thing I would like to show you is this line, which tells the user who is currently signed in on that computer. It directs the user to sign out if it's not you. Users must be logged into their own Gmail account to complete the affidavit. The name and the email of the person completing the affidavit will be shown on the output report and serves as the legal digital signature of the person completing the form. It will cover us in the event of an audit. Next, the person completing the form will enter his or her name. Yes, you will have their name already because of the username described above. However, this will serve as a confirmation that the two match. This and all questions on the form are required. You cannot submit the form with any blank answers. Next, the person will be asked to mark their role at the school. This is to aid the site coordinators when monitoring who has and hasn't submitted their form. The remainder of the questions should be read carefully. Each requires a checkmark confirmation that the person agrees to that requirement. At the end of the form, there is a box that can be checked if the person completing the form wishes to keep a copy of their responses for their records. This is not required, however, it is highly recommended. And finally, there is the Submit button. Once the completed affidavit is submitted, the user will receive a pop-up window thanking them for completing the form. If the user chooses to receive a copy of their responses, it will be sent to the Gmail account. Through the electronic submission of the affidavit, the user is added to the Responses Completed Affidavits spreadsheet, but I'll go over that shortly. To get this process rolling, you as the test coordinator will receive the online form from our office as a link within an email sent to your Gmail account. Clicking the link directs you straight to the form where you can complete it and submit it as previously demonstrated. Now, what is the most efficient way to ensure the digital signature is maintained when your staff completes the form? We recommend you take the email we send you and you simply forward it to everyone who is required to complete the form. Remembering, of course, it must go to their Gmail account, which is the @desertsands.us address. When they log in to get the mail, this will ensure the form recognizes them and provides the correct digital signature. Once they submit the form, there is nothing else required for them to do until the next security affidavit needs to be completed. We suggest that you print and keep on hand a couple of hard copies of the required security affidavits for your site. These can be used in the rare event that you have someone who needs to sign a security affidavit but does not have a Google account, for instance, a custodian or a substitute teacher. Of course, if you do have a substitute teacher who will be trained and be part of the testing, then the best scenario would be to notify your teacher on assignment in technology and she will create a Google account for them. print the form, simply open it online. Right-click anywhere in the form and select Print. Once it's printed, cross through the sentence that quotes your username and draw a line for the employee signature. Please be aware that the use of the online digitally signed form is now to be used by all DSUSD employees with a Google account. This paper option is not for someone who simply does not want to or cannot figure out how to log into their Gmail account. We're nearing the end now, and so let's look at the way a test site coordinator will be able to monitor their staff's responses. Firstly, our office will share with you via Gmail a link to your site-specific Security Affidavit responses spreadsheet. This is where your site's responses will automatically be recorded once they click the Submit button at the bottom of the form. When you open the form, it will likely be blank or only have your responses on it until staff start completing the affidavit. You will notice there is a time and date stamp for when the form was submitted, a record of the user name, this is the digital signature, the first and last name of the staff member, this must match the username column, their role in your school site, and the phrase "I agree" for all other questions. At this point, I'm going to give you my suggestion on how to monitor the responses at your site. I understand that everyone may have a different way that they would prefer to keep track of their responses. My suggestion is to keep the form sorted by column A, which is the date and time stamp. Highlight names as you confirm their receipt. This way, the next time you open the spreadsheet, any names appearing below the highlighted section are names of staff who have submitted the form since the last time you checked. Congratulations, we've made it to the end of this training session. I'm confident you are all set to go with using the all-new online security affidavits available for the CASP, CASE, and CELT. Thank you for spending the last 8 minutes with me, and if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact our office. As promised, here are the contacts in the technology department regarding Google accounts.